All right, let's jump right into this explainer. I want you to imagine I'm sitting right across from you as your senior research consultant, ready to coach your team. Think about the very last time you kicked off a new project. You had this burning question, you were totally ready to dig in, but then you immediately face the one decision that shapes literally everything else. Which methodology do you use? It is the absolute foundation of credible research, and yet surprisingly, it's often the step we rush through the fastest. So today, we are going to look at how to systematically architect your research methodology rather than just going with your gut feeling.
And that brings us to a pretty tough question. Be honest with yourself here. Are you actively choosing your methodology, or are you just defaulting to it? You know, it's incredibly common to just pick a familiar method. Maybe it's the one your supervisor always prefers, the one you learned back in grad school, or honestly, just the one that feels the safest. But let me coach you on this right now. If we simply default to that safe method we know so well, we seriously risk ignoring what our specific research question actually demands.
I always like to say, think of methodology selection like choosing a camera lens for viewing a huge landscape. If you slap on a wide-angle lens, you capture the entire sweeping scene, right? But you lose all the fine details. Now, if you switch over to a telephoto lens, you get this incredible razor-sharp detail on one specific subject, but you completely miss the surrounding context. Every single methodology reveals certain truths while completely obscuring others. There is no universally best lens out there. There's only the right lens for the specific landscape you are trying to capture.
So, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll look at choosing your research lens, compare quantitative and qualitative approaches, explore the power of mixed methods, introduce AI as your research consultant, and finally, look at how to properly justify your choice.
Okay, part one, choosing your research lens, the absolute foundation of credible research. Here is the hard truth. A perfectly executed study with the wrong methodology dooms your research right from the start. You can have flawless, pristine data collection, but if the design doesn't match the question, your insights are going to fall completely flat. Methodology isn't just some simple toggle switch between quantitative and qualitative. It is the entire architecture of how you'll answer your question. This single upfront choice cascades through every other decision you make. It dictates your research design, like choosing an RCT versus an observational study. It dictates your sampling strategy, your data collection methods, and your analysis approaches. It's your structural foundation.
Moving on to part two, quantitative versus qualitative lenses, or selecting the right focal length.
As we know, different lenses answer fundamentally different questions. If you have a confirmatory question, something like, does this intervention actually work? Or, how often does this happen? You need a quantitative lens. That's what gives you statistical associations and population averages. But if you have an exploratory question, like, how does this mechanism work in the real world? Or why do participants behave this way? You absolutely need a qualitative lens. Qualitative approaches excel at capturing the actual mechanisms, the human meanings, and all that rich contextual nuance.
Let's look at our really concrete example to make this stick. Imagine we are studying diabetes medication adherence among older adults. If your initial question is vague, you won't even know where to start. But look at how just tweaking the precise question completely changes the required methodological lens. If you want to know how common is non-adherence, well, you use a descriptive survey. If you ask, what are the barriers from the patient's perspectives, you need qualitative interviews to actually explore their lived experiences. And if you ask, does a home-based support program improve adherence, boom, you need a randomized controlled trial. The exact question always drives the method.
Let's shift to part three, the power of mixed methods, using multiple lenses for a complete picture.
Consider a fantastic case study regarding cancer treatment adherence. If you really need a complete picture, you sequence your methods. You might kick things off with qualitative interviews with 20 to 30 patients to deeply explore their specific barriers. Then, that qualitative data directly informs the design of a broad quantitative survey, given to maybe 200+ patients to establish the prevalence of those barriers. Finally, you take both of those findings to design a targeted intervention and test it with an RCT. It's a beautifully cohesive sequence where every single phase informs the next.
But I need to give you a quick warning, straight from my consulting experience. Mixed methods are not a magic fix. A really common misconception is that if you just throw qualitative and quantitative methods into a blender together, it magically fixes any foundational flaws in your study. It doesn't. Poor integration just gives you two separate, mediocre studies that don't even talk to each other. True mixed methods require deep expertise in both paradigms and highly careful, deliberately planned integration.
Which brings us to part four, AI as your research consultant, systematizing the selection process.
I want you to start thinking of AI as an objective, highly read senior consultant. But before we even begin typing a prompt, we need a quick mental checklist. What is the actual risk of the task versus the AI's capability? AI is phenomenal at brainstorming structures, but it can be terrible at final factual verification. With that risk in mind, here is the exact sequence you should use to architect your research. First, clarify your core question. Hand AI your vague topic and ask it to generate specific exploratory, descriptive, and confirmatory questions. Second, map possible methods. Ask, for this specific question, what approaches could work? Third, assess the trade-offs. Ask the AI what each method would reveal and, importantly, what it would miss. And fourth, evaluate feasibility against your actual real-world constraints.
Let's say you want to evaluate a patient education intervention. You can prompt the AI to build a table just like this one, balancing ideal rigor with your actual constraints. It lays out the trade-offs so clearly. An RCT has incredibly strong causal inference, but feasibility is extremely low. A quasi-experiment offers good inference with medium feasibility. A pre-post design is highly feasible but has weak causal inference. However, and this is a critical warning for all professionals calibrating their AI judgment skills today, AI is highly prone to hallucinations. It might confidently generate a completely fake citation or a fabricated statistic just to justify a certain method to you. You must always use AI to architect the logic and the structure, but you have to verify the actual facts and data yourself.
Finally, Part 5, justifying your final choice, documenting your methodology, logic. Making the choice is only half the battle, right? Documenting the logic behind it is just as crucial. Your methods section has to transparently explain exactly why you chose this approach over the alternatives. Let's quickly review some common selection mistakes I see all the time. First, don't default to your own personal skills. Let the question drive the method. Second, do not underestimate qualitative rigor. It's not just anything goes, it requires strict purpose of sampling. Don't ignore your audience either. A clinician wants to know the mechanism, while a policymaker just wants the prevalence data. And never, ever neglect feasibility. Always remember, a well-implemented, rigorous quasi-experiment is always, always better than a poorly implemented RCT.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to take back to your desk. Look at your own workflow today. What current research question of yours could be answered by multiple different methodologies, and what unique, fascinating truth would each different lens teach you? Open up an AI tool today, keeping those hallucination risks we talked about top of mind, and let it map out your alternatives. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go architect some truly incredible research.